The sun dipped low, casting long shadows across the Gavilan Mountains. The sycamore trees lining the Salinas River swayed gently in the evening breeze. Golden light danced on the water. This peaceful place, hidden from the world, offered a moment of respite. Two men emerged from the dusty path, weary from their journey. They had been walking all day, their shoulders heavy with unseen burdens. The Salinas River Valley, with its promise of work and a fresh start, lay ahead. For now they sought solace in the tranquility of the riverbank. George Milton was a small man, wiry and quick. His face, tanned and creased by the sun, held a look of constant vigilance. His eyes, dark and restless, darted around, taking in every detail of their surroundings. They were the eyes of a man who had seen too much hardship, a man hardened by the world, but not yet broken. George carried himself with a quiet authority that belied his size. He was a man of few words, but his words were sharp, his mind even sharper. He was quick to assess a situation, always planning his next move. Life had taught him to be resourceful, to rely on his wits to survive. In stark contrast to George stood Lenny Small, a man-child of immense size. He lumbered behind George, his gait clumsy yet strangely graceful. His face, broad and childlike, held a look of perpetual wonder. He seemed to move through the world with an innocence that was both endearing and unsettling. Lenny's mind was slow, his thoughts like scattered puzzle pieces. He struggled to understand the world around him, clinging to simple pleasures and familiar routines. Despite his hulking physique, Lenny was gentle at his core, with a deep capacity for love and loyalty. George spoke, his voice gruff but not unkind. "Lenny, you remember where we are?" Lenny, his eyes wide, shook his head slowly. George sighed, a familiar weariness washing over him. "We're by the Salinas River, Lenny. Remember, I told you about the rabbits?" Lenny's face brightened. "We're gonna tend rabbits, George." He repeated the words like a cherished promise. George nodded, a flicker of sadness in his eyes. He knew the dream of tending rabbits was just that, a dream, but he clung to it for Lenny's sake as much as his own. They settled by the riverbank, their conversation a familiar mix of gentle chiding and shared dreams. George spoke of their future, of a small farm they would own one day, a place where Lenny could tend his rabbits and they could finally be free. But beneath their hopeful words lingered the unspoken truth of their past. Weed, their last job, ended badly. Now they were on the run, forced to start anew. George carried the weight of their past mistakes, the constant fear